right now. All right, welcome everybody. I'm Peter Brissett, and the owner of the brand, Assisted Living Marketing, assistedlivingmarketing.com. We work with a number of assisted living communities all over the country with helping them market their communities. Today we're talking about Facebook basics, kind of the Facebook basics for assisted living communities. Some of this will cover lots of businesses, but we want to kind of focus on that particular industry here today. The first question really is like, why? Why should I care about what I'm doing here with stupid Facebook anyway? Well, okay, so there's only like a gazillion billion users on Facebook, and which is fine, but the real question is, do the family members of your residents use Facebook? And the answer to that question is yes. By and large, the vast majority of them are using Facebook, and whether that's the children or extended family members, grandchildren, and so on. So we want to be able to, first of all, reach those family members of our current residents. How do we communicate with them on what's going on in the community? What are the events that we're having? And we'll get into some of the content and things related to that. But first and foremost, we'd love to see this used as a tool for just communicating with our current resident families and extended family members. So to do that, one of the first things you should do when somebody, becomes a part of your community, you get a new resident, you should be sending them a link to your Facebook page and ask them to like the page, because this is one of the ways that you provide communication to them, and ask them to share that with their family members as well. The second kind of main reason that is, how do we use this then to do community outreach and to actually do some lead generation? How can we get a lead from the activities we're doing on Facebook? So that's something that we'll talk about in terms of how you do community outreach with your Facebook page and how you can reach a broader audience that's really targeted to your specific audience. If your communities are in Littleton, you do not need to do outreach in Longmont. Those are two vastly different areas. They're a long ways apart. You're probably not going to get many leads from Longmont. Most of your leads are going to come from a close vicinity to your specific communities. So we'll talk about some ways on how you do that. Any questions initially? Like something like you're just a burning question that you need to make sure that I answer today. Anybody have that?
Oh, Tamara's on now.
Nothing?
Hi, Tamara.
Any burning questions? Okay.
Guys are all muted for the most part.
Yeah, so everybody's muted. You want to type in the comments in the chat, and we'll get that. That way I can remember. How do you change the name of a page that's already been set up? That's a good question. All right. So what I want to try to do, we'll answer that, is look at kind of the most common questions that I get and try to address those. So common questions are, what kind of content should I be posting, and when should I post it? Some of that is my page set up correctly, and really, how do I increase engagement? How do I get people to interact with content? Some of the different types of content, and then what about paid posts? So if I want to do any kind of paid advertising. So that's really going to be the core of the questions we're going to try to answer here today. So let's talk about content. What do I post and when should I post it? Anything and everything. So anything is content in your community, whether that's just a message that you're posting on the page, or if that's a picture of some activities, or a video, or links to your website, or links to other content and information. So there's a lot of different options of content that you can share on your Facebook page. So if you have a blog post on your website and you're blogging new content, then the link to that page is something that you want to share on your Facebook page. I kind of, and I'll address it now, but we have the question of the different types of content. What I'm really encouraging folks to do right now is do more video. So video is really kind of taking over Facebook. I don't know if you've noticed, but it is very heavily being used on Facebook, in particular doing live video. And you can do this if you're the administrator of your Facebook page. You can do live video from the page itself and do that on your phone. That's where typically it's done. Now I can do it from, they've made it available so you can do it from a computer, but that's really not where people are doing live video. It's all being done on your phone. So let me just show you that, what that looks like on the app. So this is just a screenshot of my phone. So if I want to post and do a live video from my phone, I just hit the post option, and then you can see there you've got the go live option here. So when I press that, it's going to let me describe my video, and then I can hit the go live button and it goes live. So what Facebook does when you do that is, then that's kind of a cool view. Whoa. What Facebook does when you do that is actually try to build you a live audience and notifies everybody what you're doing, and wants to try to build a live audience. Now, honestly, for the most part, I don't care if you have a live audience of live viewers or it's just a video that people watch later. It's just video content that you're doing. You're covering a live event, you're singing happy birthday to some residents, whatever it is. It's a quick little video that you make. It can be 1 to 2 minutes long, and then you post that, and that's extra content on the page. That content will then get shared out more. The live video feeds are getting shared more than any other content in terms of how Facebook pushes out that content. So one of the things that comes up is, hey, I posted something on my page, but only 3 people saw it. And this is kind of one of the things that Facebook's done with the pages in particular. Even though I have a page like this one that's got 212 followers, then how do I make sure all 212 see my content? And it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. Just because I post it doesn't mean Facebook's going to push it out to everybody. So you have to do something else. One is, it has to be more engaging content. That's where the video comes in. So the more engaging the content is, the better it's going to get pushed out to your audience. And as people like, comment, and share, then Facebook says, okay, well, I'll share it with more people now. So the more organically you can do that, the better. The ultimate way to make sure all 212 see it is to do a paid post. And we'll talk about that in a little bit on how you can do that. But that's the only way to make sure that everybody sees it. So we'll talk about that. what I want to talk about now is a little bit about how you set up certain things on the page and making sure certain things are in place. So one of the questions we had is about the page name. So right here we've got at Lighthouse Assisted Living as the page name. So how do I change that or set that? Was the question. So there's a couple different ways to do it. Sometimes you can just click right there on that. If it's not been changed, and it will let you change it. But you can always go, and if you actually hover over this, it tells you where to change the username in the page info section. So we can go to settings. And let's go to publish page. These are your tabs. I want to edit this. Sorry. Let's go to About. Here we go. So in here is where you would edit the page name. So you have your categories, the name of the page, and then the actual page name that you name here. So Facebook likes you to not change this very often. So you really want to try to, do the best you can with naming it. I've been able to get pages renamed, but they don't like to do it. So this is just under the About section where you can edit that. So this is one of the main areas that you want to make sure all the information is correct. In particular, the category, a little bit about your story, your vision, mission, your hours, any other business details you want to have. You definitely want to have a phone number. This is the messenger link. You can add an email, website address. So you want to make sure all of that information is up to date and correct in terms of the basic page information. Now you've got different tabs here that show up. So how do you adjust those? We'll go back, we were looking at that. So these are all your general settings. There's a million options here. For the most part, you don't need to change a whole bunch of these. The one that is a good idea to do, and this is kind of problematic for some reason with Facebook, but you can also verify the page. So the benefit of verifying the page is that Facebook gives your page a little more priority because it's verified. And you get a little check mark badge on the page that says it's authentic. And typically what you have to do is put in your phone number and have it call you. So Facebook calls you and gives you a code that you can then put in and verify the page. And for some reason, we've done this before on pages. We've verified it and everything's verified, and then a month or two later, for some reason, it's not verified now. It's like, what happened? We verified it once. So it's a little bit problematic. But if you can verify it, I would definitely recommend that you verify the page. All right, so let's go to edit page. So these are the different tabs that we were talking about there. So if you wanted to have a tab for services, I think that was one of the questions. What are the different services? And a lot of times it's the different tabs. So you can use default tabs or you can add additional tabs. So things like services. So it just gives you an extra space of content that you can then add additional information. So let's see what that looks like. So here you can add a picture and a description about those services. So those are, again, that's under edit page. And under tabs. So why would you do that? It's really, it's just an up to you if it's there or not there, if you want to use it or not. I tend to try to narrow down how many tabs, because sometimes you wind up over time with tons and tons of tabs, but you're not really using them. You know, it's not a necessity to have it, I guess. But if you do have some services that you want to list out there, it's not a bad way to do it. Let's see. So that's really the two main setting areas to kind of cover the highlights of it. But really this about section's kind of the most important, where you've got all the critical information. So you want to make sure that that's up to date. Obviously you want to have your images branded and you know, looking nice. So here's another example of a good, nice image as the cover. So you got the logo and then the cover image it's a picture of the facility, but it's also got a web address and a phone number, and so it looks really nice on the cover image. We'll talk about that other thing later. Okay. So that's some of the basics on the setup. Now, how do we actually build some followers? Oh, we got another question. What is the difference between the story and an impressium? It's on the about. So there's different areas where you can add additional information. This is just a shorter, you know, this is 2,000 characters that you can add in here. Impressium seems some European-ish type of thing. So I don't think that's required as long as you've got the main content over here. But again, if you want to have more information, then go for it. Okay, so how do we build followers, get more followers, and actually do a little more of the community outreach? So one of the things that you can do when you're on Facebook, so let me just go to my personal profile here, and you can see all sorts of nonsense. So if I've got a community in, let's say, Aurora, there's a lot of stuff in Aurora, Colorado. So what I can do is do a search on Aurora, Colorado, and see what all is out there. So here we have the city of Aurora. Let me open some of these links. Aurora, Colorado City Hall, Aurora Police Department. Let's see. Let's go, how about Aurora, Colorado Chamber of Commerce. And let's see, what else? What's another kind of big community type thing in Aurora?
The library, Aurora Library.
Oh, here we go. Thank you. Colorado libraries. Okay. So this is the city of Aurora. One of the things that I can do here, instead of liking as myself, I can click on the little dots over here on the right, and I can like this as my page. So when I click on that, it's going to say pick one of your pages, whatever page it is you want to do. So let's just do too many options here. Hopefully you don't have this many options for yourself. Well, here, I'm just going to do this. Okay, so then I've got, here's City Hall. So again, same thing, you've got the little dots here. I can like as my page. Select the page I want to do. Let's go with just do it as my page. Okay, so I think you get the idea. What are some of the things in your area close by you that you can follow as your page? So this is kind of the first step to begin to do that. A great thing to do with the chambers, because you can see them interacting with a lot of the businesses in the area, and that can give you other ideas of other Facebook pages that you can follow. So great, I go through and I do all that. Now what do I do with that? What you do with that is from your page, so when you go to your page, over here on the right, it's kind of obscure, but it gives you this information. It says, here's your response rate. So if someone messages your page, this is how quick you respond. This is how many followers. And then there's the option here for see pages feed. So these are posts from pages that you've liked as your page. So when I click on that, it's then going to show me just that content, and it shows me all the pages that I've liked. And what I can now do is actually interact with these pages as my page, as my community page. So I can like this page and go, that looks yummy. See, I'm so creative. Now, what happens is other people are seeing this that have nothing to do with my page, or just part of the local community that are probably close by where this location is. And they're going to go, oh, who is Lighthouse Assisted Living? And they may be able to just go to my page right from here and like my page because they saw my comment on Gigi's Cupcakes. So this is a way to do outreach. Here's something from Senior Planet. So if this is, you know, some good information that you like, you want to share it, you can share it back to your page to share with your own followers, or you can just put a comment. So this is less local, so I might not do much with that. You know, here's the Melting Pot. You know, we love this place. So now you're commenting and being able to share and get your page out there to a much broader audience. So what you do to do this is just set aside X number of time per week. So for 1 hour a week, I'm going to go comment, like, and share on my Facebook page on all the pages that I follow. And I'm going to search and find other pages that I can follow and build up that audience. And then you can really see what you'll see over time is you'll start to really see that number grow in terms of the number of followers of your page. So we're growing our followers by sending to every resident that we have, and their family members, obviously, their family members, and asking them to share it out with the rest of their extended family as well, because we want to get all of those folks following the page. And then we do this organic reach, which is trying to organically extend our Facebook page into the community by liking, commenting, and sharing on other items that are going on, other activities, events, posts, content that is happening within our community on other Facebook pages. Then the next thing then is how do we boost this? So if I want to invest $50 a month or $100 a month on some paid advertising, where do I spend it? And how do I spend that money? So the thing that we want to look at then is our insights. So when you click on insights, this gives me some stats on the Facebook page. So for instance, let's go last 28 days. So this will tell me how many actions on the page, how many page views, how many page likes, the total reach. So you can see this page only has 212 followers, but its reach was 1,659 people. So even though you have a small following, you can still reach a pretty broad audience. There were 660 post engagement. So a post engagement is a click, a like, a share, or comment. How many people watch videos, and how many new page followers. And this kind of gives you a quick highlight of some of the paid campaigns. Now this client does this pretty much on their own. We don't even, it's not something we manage for them. They just kind of look at different things and they make that decision. So how do I decide what to share? Well, as you're putting content and doing content, you can click down here where it says posts. And this will show you all of your posts to your page. And what it tells you is how much reach has that page had, either organic or paid. And what you want to change here in this view is this right drop down here, and this is called engagement rate. That's really the thing you want to look at. Which page has the most engagement rate? So this one here has 20% engagement rates. Now it doesn't have a big reach, but it's got really good engagement. Here's one at 16% with a good reach. Here's one 13% with a really good reach. When you hover over this, it tells you, was it organic, meaning that it was naturally pushed out by Facebook, or was there paid advertising done for that particular post? So something like this, it's got good organic reach and it's got fairly good post engagement. That to me would be a good post to boost, even if it's just $5 or $10. And typically what we do is people who like your page and their friends. So we're extending out from the people that like your page and beyond that. And then you just set your budget. Let's say I want to do $10 over the next 7 days. So it's going to spend $1.42 per day to push that out. Now what you can do is drill down a little bit more. So this right now is the entire state of Colorado, but you could say, let's keep this in Littleton, because I really don't care about anything outside of that. So it'll still be people who like your page and their friends, but they got to live within this specified area. That way we're getting the maximum reach in our targeted area for who we're trying to reach. And then you boost it. And then you see how it does. So that's a pretty simple way just to get content that's already got some engagement, has had a little bit of basic reach, organic reach already, and that's how you decide what you should post out there. Some of the other content that we share too, which is something that we do for most of our clients, if you have daily calendar events, daily activities, we post all those to your Facebook page as well. Some people get concerned. It's like, oh, well, I posted 3 times this week on my Facebook page. Is 3 times too many, or is 3 times not enough? I can tell you could probably post 3 to 4 times per day, and that still won't be too many. Because, again, your organic reach, as you can see, even though I have 200 followers of the page, doesn't mean 200 people are going to see that post. So being concerned about, oh, well, I post it once every day, it's clogging up my feed and people are getting confused. It's actually a common thing people say, oh, it's clogging my feed. I don't know what clogging a feed means. So, like, you can clog a pipe, but you can't clog your Facebook feed. Completely different. Completely different. So, okay, I'm cracking myself up there. All right. Let's see. So one other thing I want to show you, I've got to test this, but there's the option of your cover image here, actually make this a video. And if anybody's interested in this, we could probably do this for you for a small fee, but I haven't tested it yet. But I want to see if there's a good example here. That's just a picture. So you can see that's a Facebook cover image that they made into a video. So it has to be a very specific size for it to work. And I've got a couple ideas I think that would be pretty cool for Facebook cover images actually done as videos. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know. See what we can do with that. Okay, those were the main things I wanted to cover. Let me make sure I answered my questions here. What do I post and when should I post it? So in terms of time of day, when you can post, it really doesn't make too much difference. Just kind of post to, post as you want to. The other thing I will show you about that is that, well, hey, do I have to go physically on there every day and post? When you're posting content, you can actually choose when you want to publish it. So you can even backdate it, you can save it as a draft, or you can choose to schedule it. So if you wanted to, schedule content for an entire month, you could sit down maybe in an hour or two and just schedule the dates and the times that you want that content to be scheduled. So that can be a big time saver in terms of, oh, I got to do this every day, like what a time suck. No, do it 1 hour a month and schedule your content out. So that way you can be a little more efficient with your own time. We talked about page settings, talked about increasing engagement, talked about different content and paid posts. You should have got, hopefully we sent this out. Did we get these sent out to everybody? kind of your checklist things to double check.
Yep, everybody should have it in their inbox.
Okay. All right, other questions, thoughts, ideas, comments?
You guys are so quiet.
Let's see here if we feel free to unmute, or I can unmute you if you have a question. You message me in the chat box. I'm just going to unmute some people here and see. Susan, any questions? Nothing from Susan. I'm going to unmute Wendell. Wendell, any questions?
No, thank you. I've learned a couple of ideas.
Perfect. That's the goal. If we can give you a couple of things you can use, then awesome. All right. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Tammy always has something to say. What do you got to say, Tammy? She's not going to talk. All right. Don, what about you?
Very interesting. Just trying to learn a lot of stuff in a short period of time. So thanks for the information.
Well, and we'll get you guys a recording of this too in case you need to go back and look at it. Katie, you asked another question here. Trying to follow along the best. Oh, Tammy said, I did get a good tip though. Thanks. Gotcha. We'll send you the recording so you guys can watch this again. It is a little bit hard to follow. It went pretty quick. All right, the more pages you like, the more you will eventually see in the feed. Yeah, so you'll see more of that content when you go over here and you click on see page feed. As you like those pages, there'll be more and more content for you here. And you'll see all the pages on the left.
But do they automatically show on your home page as well, or
No.
is that a separate thing?
No, it's only here.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't pull any content to your actual page. It just gives you this way of being able to go in here and view it.
Okay.
And then decide how you want to interact with this. If you want to share it back to your page, then yeah, you can share it back to your page if you want to.
Okay.
But no, it doesn't automatically show up. You're the only one that can see this particular feed.
So this is definitely different than like a personal feed, right? You know. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
This is only from your page.
Yeah.
Because the main thing you can see is this. You know, you can see when I write that comment, it's got that image there.
Yeah.
So if I'm on my personal page, let me go to my personal profile here. This is another way that you can do this. But you can see when I like, comment, or share on something, there's this little drop down and it's got my picture. But if I'm just in my news feed and I see something that, whoa, what's that dude? Yeah, you don't know what you're going to see in my news feed. So that's why I don't share. Here we go. Here's a good one, Tuesday tip. If I wanted to share this to a different page, I can drop down here and it will let me like, comment, and share as different things.
Okay.
Right now it's just because that's my page. Let me see about something else that's more, it's going to vary. I mean, some things, it depends on how the person posted it too. Sometimes I can change who I am.
Right.
When I'm looking at this, but anytime you see the drop down, then
Great.
I can then pick the different page if it's in my own news feed. But yeah, that's why you go around, you like all the other pages, the other content that you want to follow, and then this is kind of the simplest way because now I got a quick, easy news feed I can just scroll through.
Okay.
I'm doing everything as my page at that point. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing.
No, I got it.
Cool. Well, good deal. We'll send you guys out some, I've got some ideas on the Facebook cover videos that we will share with you so we can see what you guys think of that. Might be a service that we do, but I've got a couple ideas for that. But that's really it. That's what I wanted to cover today, and kind of get you guys on the right track, kind of know what's really the most important things for you to be doing for outreach. If you have other questions, we're kind of like hashtag #AskTeamDude. Just ask us whatever questions you have. Shoot us an email. If you haven't liked our page yet, let's send our page out to everybody, Megan.
I got it.
And make sure that everybody likes our page. I post regular content, different tips that kind of cover all different industries and types from time to time. So you can catch those tips and ideas, as well as our monthly marketing message, which we send out every month. So if you're not on that list and you'd like to be, let us know. We can add you to that. I think I'm good. Anything else, Megan?
No, I guess I just also want to point out, social media is such a cool world to promote your business. And I think when it comes to your business, I would just